no longer existing as an animal species.
Well done. Extinct is the right choice.
Which is not included in domestic waste.
You're right. Compound waste is the correct answer.
Which planet is known as Mother Planet? Perfect. Earth is the correct choice.
All energy for life comes from the dash.
Right choice, Sun is the best answer.
Which of the thing is related to flora?
Good thinking. Water is the right answer.
Global warming is expected to result in. You chose all of these, and it is correct.
The crust is covered by a thin layer of. Nice selection. Soil is the correct and valid answer. Herbivores dash. Prepare their own food. Strong choice. Cannot is the right answer. Biotic is the world of living organisms. Smart move. True is an accurate answer. Forest communities have a lot of cacti. Smart pick. False is the correct choice. Cutting of trees in a forest is called. Great thinking. Deforestation is the right choice. A food web is a network of food chains. Right again. True is a valid answer. Areas that share common characteristics. Great job. Regions is the accurate answer. Everything in biosphere is dash and dash. Excellent choice. Interdependent and interconnected is the right answer. We should cross road at zebra crossing. Well reasoned. True is the correct choice. Another name for global warming is the dash.
Exactly. Climate change makes sense, and it is right choice.
Ocean and mangrove swamps water is very. Good job. Your answer salty works well here.
Which one of these is a biotic element?
Well picked. Bacteria is the correct answer. The non-living aspects of an ecosystem. Correct. Abiotic factors is the right answer.
Each step of a food chain is called as.
Clear logic. Your choice trophic level is sound and 100% true. Name the tallest mammals on the earth. On track. Giraffe is the correct answer. The greenhouse gases keep the surface. You got it? Your choice warm is right. Dash is not a biodegradable pollutant. Nicely done. DDT is a solid answer. The greenhouse effect is dash process. Nice work. You chose a natural, and it is correct. The thirds include reduce, reuse, and dash. Sharp thinking. Recycle is the right choice. Find the synonym of the word hazardous. Excellent. Dangerous is a brilliant choice. What percentage of the earth is water? Solid response 75% is a valid choice. What does every food chain start with? Valid point. Sun is true. First step in planning process is dash. Bravo. Setting objectives is the answer. 99% of atmosphere exists within dash. Correct response. 32 kilometers is the most accurate answer.
What does the word environment mean?
Well picked. Everything surrounding us is the correct answer.
We should throw waste in public places.
Great thinking. False is the right choice.
Thin layer of air that surrounds Earth.
Clear logic. Your choice atmosphere is sound and 100% true. What are the components of environment?
Well done. All of the above is the right choice.
Dash is our basic life support system. Good job. Your answer environment works well here.
Name any one way to dispose of waste.
Perfect. Landfills is the correct choice.
Dash is an example of abiotic factors.
Excellent choice. Temperature is the right answer.
Lithosphere is derived into Greek word.
Good thinking. Stone is the right answer.
Our oceans are part of the lithosphere.
Strong choice. No is the right answer.
Which is a threat to the environment?
Excellent. Growing population is a brilliant choice.
The hydrosphere is the domain of Dash.
Valid point. Water is true.
How many species of fishes are there?
Bravo. 28,000 is the answer.
Which of the following is a producer?
Correct. Algae is the right answer.
In an ecosystem, herbivores represent.
Nice selection. Primary consumer is the correct and valid answer.
Q1. When was Niti Aayog established?
Smart pick. 1 January 2015 is the correct choice.
Which results in habitat destruction?
Sharp thinking. Urbanization is the right choice.
The French word environner means to.
Exactly. Surround makes sense. And it is right choice.
We all need Dash to survive and grow.
Smart move. All of these is an accurate answer.
Stopping of forests is a big reason.
Nice work. You chose soil erosion and it is correct. Something new made to solve a problem. You're right. Design is the correct answer.
The living portions of the ecosystem.
Right again.
Biotic factors is a valid answer.
Drinking hot chocolate in the winter.
Solid response. Adapt is a valid choice.
Dash are an example of a decomposer.
Correct response. Mushrooms is the most accurate answer.
To keep our house clean, we need Dash.
Right choice. Cleaning tools is the best answer.
Making air, land, rivers, etc. dirty.
You chose pollution, and it is correct.
4- Day is celebrated on 5th June.
You got it? Your choice environment is right?
The Environment Day is celebrated on.
Nicely done. 5th June is a solid answer.
Dolphins and sharks live in the Dash.
On track. Ocean is the correct answer.
Mountaineers and campers put up Dash.
Well reasoned. Tent is the correct choice.
The natural environment consists of.
Great job. Plants and animals is the accurate answer.
What is the main cause of acid rain?
You're right. Sulfur dioxide is the correct answer.
Complete the sentence. Try to be dash.
Smart pick. Friendly is the correct choice.
What is the activity's name you got?
Great thinking. Responsible consumption and production is the right choice.
How many types of wastes are there?
Valid point. 2 is true.
A thin layer of soil covers the dash.
You got it. Your choice, lithosphere, is right.
What does composting help to manage? Exactly. Organic waste makes sense and it is right choice. Delaying school opening due to snow.
Great job. Adapt is the accurate answer.
What is caused by greenhouse effect?
You chose Earth's temperature increases, and it is correct.
To use the same thing more than once.
Perfect. Reuse is the correct choice. Rice in India is grown on dash soils. Well done. Alluvial is the right choice. The green plant are also called dash. Correct. Producers is the right answer, which has a negative impact on land.
Bravo. Mining is the answer.
Abiotic resources are composed of the...
Good job. Your answer, non-living thing, works well here.
The term acid rain was first used by...
Well picked. Robert Angus is the correct answer.
Dash is a pair biodegradable waste. Nicely done. Flowers and paper is a solid answer.
The term environment means the dash.
Strong choice. Surroundings is the right answer.
To help our environment, you should.
Nice work. You chose reduce, reuse, and recycle, and it is correct. There are natural assets on Earth.
Excellent choice. Sight, water, and air is the right answer.
Abiotic component of environment is... Excellent. Land is a brilliant choice.
Every food chain begins with a dash.
Nice selection. Sun is the correct and valid answer.
What is an example of a population?
On track. Dogs is the correct answer.
Bhopal gas tragedy is an example of.
Well reasoned. Industrial disaster is the correct choice.
Lithosphere is oftentimes called as.
Solid response crust is a valid choice.
We prepare dasho on Pongal festival.
Sharp thinking. Jakar Pongal is the right choice. How many trees are planted every day? Correct response. 5 million is the most accurate answer. Chipko movement was started by dash.
Clear logic. Your choice, Sunderlal Bahuguna, is sound and 100% true.
Components that forms ecosystem are. Good thinking. Both is the right answer. Technological environment includes.
Smart move. All of the above is an accurate answer.
Parks and green spaces help reduce.
Right choice. Runoff is the best answer.
What do we need to survive and grow?
Right again. All of these is a valid answer. Soft wooded trees are used to make. Well picked. Paper is the correct answer. The ecosystem of Earth is known as... Excellent. Biosphere is a brilliant choice. Which of these do all plants need? Clear logic. Your choice air is sound and 100% true. Question 9. Are created by nature? Exactly. Rivers, mountains. Mountains make sense, and it is right choice, which is not a natural ecosystems. Great job. Aquarium is the accurate answer. Earthworm and bacteria are called. Nicely done. Decomposes is a solid answer. We wear dash loads during summer. Perfetten is the correct choice. Following is the consumer. Smart pick. All of the above is the correct choice, which is a human-made environment. Excellent choice. Road is the right answer. Every part of coconut tree is used. Strong choice. True is the right answer. Clearing a forest to build a road. Great thinking. Modify is the right choice. What is an example of a community? Valid point. Frogs, ducks, water lilies is true. Abhinav does not use plastic bags. Good job. Your answer protective works well here. Landforms are found over the dash. Nice work. You chose continents, and it is correct. What do plants and trees produce? You got it. Your choice oxygen is right. Which are freshwater ecosystems? Correct, lakes and ponds is the right answer. World Water Day is celebrated on... You chose 22 March, and it is correct. Alexander Fleming discovered dash. Nice selection. Penicillin is the correct and valid answer. What does a primary consumer eat? Correct response. Producers is the most accurate answer. Complete the sentence. Reduce dash. Good thinking. Waste is the right answer. We should clean of our house. Dash. Well done. Every day is the right choice. The natural environment refers to... You're right. A and B both is the correct answer. To use old items to make new ones. Well reasoned. Recycle is the correct choice. Do you dash plastic bags at home? Smart move. Recycle is an accurate answer. Effects of soil contamination are... Solid response. Both B and C is a valid choice. Effects of global warming include... Bravo, all of the above is the answer. What environment is really cold? On track. Tundra is the correct answer. Smog is what kinds of pollution? Right again. Air pollution is a valid answer. Ozone layer is being depleted by... Sharp thinking. Chlorofluorocarbon is the right choice. World Environment Day is on dash. Right choice. 5 June is the best answer. Dash is an artificial ecosystem. Valid point. Terrarium is true. The animals is used in a desert. Smart move. Camel is an accurate answer. Major sources of water pollution. You chose industries, and it is correct. An animal found in the desert is. Correct response. Elf owl is the most accurate answer. Road a human-made environment. Well picked. True is the correct answer. Van Mahotsov was started by Dash. Right again. KM Munshi is a valid answer. Examples for biodegradable waste. Perfect. All of these is the correct choice. Irrigation systems in the city? You got it. Your choice modifier is right. Community is an example of Dash. Good thinking. Human environment is the right answer. Disease caused by air pollution. Nice work. You chose asthma, and it is correct. The food chain starts with Dash. Excellent choice. The sun is the right answer. Why is Van Mahotsov celebrated?
Correct. To save environment is the right answer.
Growing of trees is called Dash. On track. Afforestation is the correct answer. The opposite of flood is called.
Right choice. Drought is the best answer.
Is the sun a biotic component?
Exactly. No makes sense and it is right choice.
We should say no to plastic.
Well done. Right is the right choice.
Who composed the Earth Anthem? Bravo. By K is the answer. We should keep our house clean. Great job. True is the accurate answer. Dash. Do not have sweat glands. Excellent. Camels is a brilliant choice. Taj Mahal is threatened due to.
Smart pick. Sulfur dioxide is the correct choice.
Helps in recycling of minerals. Strong choice. Decomposes us is the right answer. Mosquitoes breed in Dasha water. Good job. Your answer, stagnant, works well here. Which could harm human health. Sharp thinking. Hazardous waste is the right choice. Who coined the word ecology? Great thinking. Ernst Haeckel is the right choice. Most plants are Dash in color. Well reasoned. Green is the correct choice. Bungalows are temporary house. Nicely done. False is a solid answer. Deforestation mainly leads to. Clear logic. Your choice soil erosion is sound and 100% true. The longest river in the world. You're right. Nile is the correct answer, which is not natural disaster. Solid response. Oil game is a valid choice. Which one cannot be recycled? Nice selection. Batteries is the correct and valid answer. The ozone layer is damaged by. Correct response. Sepsis is the most accurate answer. What affects the ozone layer? Good job. Your answer both A and B works well here. The word modify means to dash. Smart move. Change is an accurate answer. Which one is made of plastic?
Sharp thinking. Pet bottle is the right choice.
Money loses its value when it.
Excellent. It becomes too plentiful is a brilliant choice.
Carbon dioxide plus water plus glucose equal to.
Nicely done. Oxygen is a solid answer.
Atmosphere protects us from. Right choice. Harmful rays is the best answer.
We carry umbrella during dash.
Nice work. You chose rain and it is correct.
The earth is in shape of dash.
Solid response. Circle is a valid choice.
Dash is a large-sized country.
Great job. Russia is the accurate answer.
Name the largest land animal.
Well done. Elephant is the right choice.
The Greek word lithos meaning.
You got it? Your choice stone is right.
A green plants produce food.
Right again. True is a valid answer.
Dash can make their own food.
Good thinking. Autotrophs is the right answer.
Dash is the best fertilizer.
Well reasoned. Vermicompost is the correct choice.
The lung of the planet Earth.
Strong choice. Amazon is the right answer. Business environment means.
Excellent choice. External environment is the right answer. Dash damages the environment.
Smart pick. Pollution is the correct choice.
A desert ecosystem has dash.
Well picked. All of these is the correct answer.
Terracing seems to be a dash.
Clear logic. Your choice farming strategy is sound and 100% true.
Which is included as waste.
You're right. Scrap compound is the correct answer.
Which one is organic trash?
Valid point. Banana peel is true.
Where are alligators found?
On track. Freshwater wetlands is the correct answer.
We should plant more trees.
Perfect. Right is the correct choice. Everything that surrounds us. Great thinking. Environment is the right choice.
We burst dash during Diwali.
Nice selection. Crackers is the correct and valid answer.
Which one is made of metal?
Correct. Fork is the right answer.
The word environor meaning.
You chose surrounding, and it is correct.
Are water and soil biotic?
Bravo. No is the answer.
How are sand dunes formed?
Exactly. Winds blowing makes sense and it is right choice.
Who invented steam engine?
Great thinking. James Watt is the right choice.
Gases are types of matter.
Great job. True is the accurate answer.
Mountains in North America.
You're right. Rockies is the correct answer.
Building a well for water.
You got it. Your choice modify is right.
A dash is a floating house.
Solid response. Houseboat is a valid choice.
Man is a part of polluting.
Right again. all the above is a valid answer?
An artificial ecosystem is right choice. Crop field is the best answer. Planning is a dash process.
Well picked. Continuous is the correct answer.
And in dash keeps doctor away.
Well done. Apple is the right choice.
Chemical formula of ozone.
Correct. B is the right answer.
Malaria is spread through.
Nice selection. Mosquito bite is the correct and valid answer.
A house protects us from.
Exactly. Both make sense, and it is right choice. An ecosystem consists of. Good job. Your answer biotic and abiotic components works well here.
A desert in South America.
Bravo. Atacama is the answer.
We get silk from the dash. Clear logic. Your choice silkworm is sound and 100% true. A rainforest in Malaysia. Smart move. Seba is an accurate answer. Meaning of word environor. Smart pick. Neighborhood is the correct choice. Dash causes air pollution. Valid point. Incinerators is true. Caca house is found in. Good thinking. Village is the right answer.
Can we saw microorganism? Correct response. False is the most accurate answer.
Environor is a dash word. You chose French. And it is correct. Save Earth while shopping. Nice work. You chose use our own basket. And it is correct. Example of omnivores is well reasoned. Human is the correct choice. Dash causes strong winds. Perfect. Deforestation is the correct choice. Name the fastest animal.
Strong choice. Cheetah is the right answer.
Rainbow has dash colors. Nicely done. 7 is a solid answer. Name the fastest insect. Excellent. Dragonfly is a brilliant choice. This planet has 13 moons. Excellent choice. Neptune is the right answer. Biosphere is also called. On track, both 1 and 3 is the correct answer. A major producer of wool. Sharp thinking. Australia is the right choice. Burning of waste causes. Clear logic. Your choice air pollution is sound and 100% true. What does recycle mean?
Exactly. To make something new makes sense, and it is right choice.
Mountain ecosystems are well reasoned. Cold is the correct choice. Name the smallest bird. Perfect. Hummingbird is the correct choice. Give a detailed account. Great job. Describe is the accurate answer. What does abiotic mean? Good job. Your answer, non-living, works well here. The life support system. Excellent choice. Environment is the right answer. Oxygen is harmful for. You got it. Your choice, nitrogen stabilization bacteria, is right.
An elongated country is? You chose Chile, and it is correct.
What creates pollution?
Nicely done. Human activities is a solid answer.
How will trees help us?
Valid point. All of the above is true.
The formula of ozone is?
Well done. B is the right choice.
We live in a community.
Smart move. True is an accurate answer.
A clean house is a dash.
Right choice. Healthy house is the best answer.
What does perish mean?
Great thinking. To die is the right choice.
Greenland is covered by?
Good thinking. Snow is the right answer.
Lions are to zebras as? Smart pick.
Predators are to prey is the correct choice.
A major dairy exporter.
Strong choice. Belgium is the right answer.
Ozone is formed in the?
Nice selection. Stratosphere is the correct and valid answer.
A plateau in the world.
Excellent. Deccan is a brilliant choice.
Abiotic components are?
Right again. Air is a valid answer.
Food chain consists of? Correct. All of these is the right answer.
Which day is Earth Day?
Nice work. You chose April 22 and it is correct.
Forest communities are?
Correct response. Warm and wet is the most accurate answer.
Choose the odd one out.
On track. Nuclear energy is the correct answer.
It is used in villages.
You're right. Bullock carts is the correct answer.
What does thrive mean?
Solid response. To grow and reproduce is a valid choice.
Which one is reusable?
Bravo! EcoBag is the answer.
We should dashy water.
Sharp thinking. Save is the right choice.
Ozone layer exists in?
Well picked. Stratosphere is the correct answer.
We should waste water.
Sharp thinking. Wrong is the right choice.
What something can do?
Correct response. Function is the most accurate answer.
Which one is e-waste?
Well done. Cell phones is the right choice.
To be responsible for?
Great thinking. Be responsible for is the right choice.
Putting on sunscreen.
Right choice. Adapt is the best answer.
Green bin is for dash. Smart move. Biodegradable waste is an accurate answer.
This can be eaten raw.
Perfect. Carrot is the correct choice.
World Environment Day?
Clear logic. Your choice 5th June is sound and 100% true.
Find out the odd one.
Well picked. Bacteria is the correct answer.
Environment means dash.
Great job. Neighborhood is the accurate answer.
What is hydrosphere?
On track. Water is the correct answer.
Dog is a dash animal.
You're right. Pet is the correct answer.
Pick the odd one out.
Solid response. Vegetable peels is a valid choice.
Are we an ecosystem?
Bravo! True is the answer. The shortest snake.
Nice selection. Thread snake is the correct and valid answer.
Taxing and spending. Right again. Fiscal is a valid answer. What are the three Ross?
Excellent. Reduce, reuse, recycle is a brilliant choice.
Corals are animals.
Smart pick. True is the correct choice.
Ozone is made up of.
Well reasoned. 3 atoms of oxygen is the correct choice. We must throw waste.
Valid point. In garbage bins is true.
What is a landfill? You got it. Your choice. Where garbage gets dumped is right.
Preserve means dash.
Strong choice. To keep safe is the right answer. Nomads live in dash. Nicely done. Wheel caravans is a solid answer. Biosphere includes. Good job. Your answer, all of the above, works well here. Protect the nature.
Good thinking. Protect nature is the right answer.
The largest snake. Correct. Anaconda is the right answer. Bees gives us dash.
Nice work. You chose honey, and it is correct.
To make offspring. You chose reproduce, and it is correct. Hydrosphere means. Excellent choice. Mass of water is the right answer. To create a plan.
Exactly. Design makes sense, and it is right choice.
Greenhouse effect. You chose greenhouse effect. And it is correct. Environment means. Excellent. Surroundings is a brilliant choice. Cow gives us dash.
Nicely done. Milk is a solid answer.
Biotic resources. Bravo. Living thing is the answer. What is deafness? Great job. Can't hear is the accurate answer. Economic is dash. Nice work. You chose human environment, and it is correct. Green plants are? Exactly. Producers make sense, and it is right choice. Noise pollution? Smart move. Noise pollution is an accurate answer. Domain of water.
Good job. Your answer hydrosphere works well here.
Camouflage is a. Right again. Structural adaptation is a valid answer. What is sewage? Correct response. Domestic waste is the most accurate answer. Fine, point out. Sharp thinking. Identify is the right choice. Climate change.
Great thinking. Climate change is the right choice.
Global warming. Clear logic. Your choice global warming is sound and 100% true. To stay alive. Solid response. Survive is a valid choice. CFC stands.
You're right. Chlorofluorocarbons is the correct answer.
Hen lays dash.
Nice selection. Ig is the correct and valid answer.
Omnivores are. Perfect. Beer is the correct choice. DM stands for. Well picked. Disaster management is the correct answer. Food coloring. Excellent choice. Humbayasi is the right answer. Abiotic means. Correct. Non-living is the right answer. Plant a tree. Strong choice. Trees is the right answer. Solar energy. Valid point. Solar energy is true. Reduce means.
Right choice. To use less is the best answer.
Means. Well done. Life is the right choice. Vulture is a.
Well reasoned. Scavenger is the correct choice.
Heteromean. You got it. Your choice other is right. Thersmean.
On track. All of the above is the correct answer.
Bears are. Smart pick. Omnivores is the correct choice. Turn equal to. Good thinking. Food is the right answer. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format. Solid response. Contact Narayan Changder on Facebook is a valid choice.